When I first came in, it said unable to go live. So I wonder if they use. I wonder if they use one of my little alerts for that. I would be a little bit upset by that, just a smidge. But welcome Emre, welcome Tammy. Hello y'all. I'm glad it worked. I'm glad those got sent out there. That's good. Dang, I don't have my reading glasses. That's gonna affect my ability to cutely cut this. I'll still be cute. I just won't be as acute. You know what I mean? That's how I roll. Y'all see how quick that was? Bing. Bingo bango, man. And nice and straight too. Let me see how close to the line I was. Where's my line at? Oh wow, you can't even see it. I cut right through the line, so you can't even see my line on there, y'all. Rob, what's up, man? So now we got this and we got this, and they're equal in size, so I can use this if I need to make another die here. It's good, man. How are you? And how's Rob? And how's Tammy? How are all y'all? Well, that's a different size now, isn't it? Oh, it's this side. That's right. So they're not exactly equal. I wanted those approximately equal. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. And we'll take that other one out of the clamps as people file in, you know, because that's what they do. They file in. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. This is the one we glued up from yesterday, see? Ain't it a cold, cold world? All right, y'all. I just want y'all to have a good view of this, just the unclamping of this, you know. We'll see how it came out. Highly recommend that razor saw. Let me show you the difference, man. This big piece of crap right here. This is not that razor saw. Y'all see this? You see that rust and corrosion? It's because this steel right here is not the same kind of steel that the Japanese make their saws with. Different, even sounds different. This is from Harbor Freight. Thank you. I can give that to Miss Heather if she's eating a steak and she maybe could cut her steak with it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of use. Mike is making stuff. Welcome. Welcome, Mike. Yeah, I just showed them the Harbor Freight razor saw. So this is a Harbor Freight Ryoba saw. You would think that in a pinch, you could just stop by your local Harbor Freight and get one of these and it would do the same thing, right? You would think, right? But it doesn't. It does not. This piece of junk, don't even waste your $10 to $15 on this or whatever it is over there at Harbor Freight. I'm going to tell you right now, sorry, Harbor Freight, not the biggest fan. I know everybody loves cheap shit, but it has to be better quality. I would go after a piece of wood that's 24 inches wide with this saw before I would go after it with this saw. You know, I would rip cut these rip cut teeth. I don't know, man. I could probably stand and walk on those if they were human size. Terrible. Don't recommend it. But I do recommend this saw right here. Guocho, it's a Japanese company. Forgive me. I think Heather had tagged it, and when she gets back to the inside, she'll tag it again. She'll tag it again. She'll tag it again. She'll tag it again. It's been a little wonky today in the YouTube universe, so I'm not shocked that the views are kind of weird and poppy up and down. Here we go. Let's take this clamp off here. This Irwin clamp here. I can't find my little speed square, and that's very upsetting to me. Even though my speed square is pretty much trash, it's just plastic. You know, I really like it. I need it. You know, I use it for straight edges and all of that stuff. So I like to have it around. What we're doing is unclamping this piece we glued up yesterday. This part of the mold. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's bad today. What are they doing? All right. But we won't worry about that. We just keep our stuff going. All right. Jorgensen clamps. Big fan. Big fan of those. Rob said he's good. I'm glad to know you're good, buddy. I'll keep these clamps somewhere close. Hey, rule number one of woodworking is obviously secure your workpiece. That's rule number one. But rule number two is you can never have enough clamps. So I don't know if you ever heard me say that, but a woodworker cannot have too many good clamps. Who do we got there? Mike, Taz River Artisans, welcome, welcome, welcome. He is a member. Mike, Taz River Artisans, where are you from? Thanks for popping in the chat. All right, so we'll take this, and we're not gonna spend too much time working on this one because it's basically done. We're gonna scrape this glue, these little glue pieces off of here so that they don't mess with the leather. And I want to do it in a way that y'all can see. But I just told you rule number one is secure your workpiece. So we'll do it down here on this surface here. Northern Virginia, what? Okay. All right, so I grew up there. I don't know if you know that, Mike. Maybe we knew each other. Do I know you? I grew up in that area. What high school did you go to? Nah, it's a hardware store, Emre, Harbor Freight, and it's like cheap stuff. And sometimes it's okay. Like not everything from Harbor Freight is bad, Emre, but Harbor in general, it's like the cheapest you can get. And sometimes they don't do enough quality control, in my opinion, right? In my humble opinion. So, and Mike, I'll tell you where I went to high school, okay? I went to elementary school over there near Beacon Hill and North Alexandria, and at Groveton. I lived on the northern side of Route 1 when I was a little kid, and then 1986. Yeah, that's a little before me. And Marshall's crap. Where the heck is John Marshall, man? That's out of ways. That's like out west and north of me. I was in South Alexandria. I lived in North Alexandria. I lived in South Alexandria. I lived in Springfield. I lived in Annandale. I've been to Marshall High School a couple of times, but it was like when I was playing sports. We played lacrosse against them. That was one of the only games that I scored a goal. I had a really sweet goal in that lacrosse game against Marshall. Hey, well, welcome. Glad to see you, man. Little connection there. Yeah, man, it was like my best game of the season. Sweet game. Half a mile from Tyson's Corner. Yes, sir. Yes, that is where it is. Yeah, so Emre, it's a hardware store, basically. It's a hardware chain store, Harbor Freight. All right, now we got that glue off, right? This is going to be the male positive piece, right? And then we got a negative piece. Let's go see how they fit together. Numbers are low today, I'm afraid. Where's that negative piece? Oh, here it is. All right. So here we go. Positive piece, negative piece, and then our leather is in between. So it's getting pressed in between these two things, and then it's clamped up right here. Clamped up right here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, here's how we can make this day worth it. I started today with 5,135 subscribers. At least that's what I think I had. They always move. It's a moving part. So what I need to do is I need to get to 5,150 subs today. That's the goal. Let's do it. LFG. We can do it. Even with lower numbers, we can do it. I worked in Springfield Mall. Do you remember Time Out? Yes, I sure do, sir. I probably saw you there. Absolutely, man. You were probably, since you graduated in 86, Time Out. Oh my God, you just brought something back in my memory. Whoa. Next to across from the shortstop card shop, right? Baseball card shop. And there used to be a computer store there right next to that card shop that sold software and stuff like that. My brother was obsessed with that place. And then, okay, here's one you remember, Mike. Mike, you probably remember down at the end of that hallway that you worked at, there was a leather store. Do you remember the leather store and how it smelled when you would leave? And I don't know if you parked in the parking deck or where you parked out there. But when you would go into the mall, if you went in towards Time Out and Shortstop and those other places in there, you would be passing this leather store on the way in. Calvin, what is your weather like where you're at? Well, today it's windy and overcast and it's cool. It's like 50 degrees, but with the wind, it feels much, much colder. Hey, do me a favor, double tap that screen, like this video. We got numbers are a little weak today. I saw this though coming, unfortunately, watching other people's live streams. Yep. So there was a leather store at the end of the hallway, and they had just it smelled strong. It had a strong leather smell. You may be the only person in the chat I could relate that to. Wow, they just keep going down. What is going on here? We're getting an algorithm adjustment. All right, we can always work with that. We figure out ways around their little algorithm adjustments. Watch me flip through the live streams real quick, though. Let's see what is getting views. Let's flip through the live streams and see what is getting views. I can understand that. There's a guy bitching at his girlfriend that's got 119 viewers. No, he's not doing too well. That I understand. That's doing well too. Roy is like kind of where I'm at. There's a guy punching a ball, and there's snow outside. He's got 84 viewers. It's crazy. Some of the stuff I see. There's a lady who has a full podcast setup that has 3 people in the room. Fish in Minnesota. I didn't even know such a live stream existed. They're doing all right. They're doing about like me. Scotty Splitting Outdoors has got his chainsaw. It's got 176 people in there. So who knows, man? We never know up in here. It's always crazy. Hey, those are the Jorgensen clamps that I use. Make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep our thing going up in here. And do that and double tap the screen. All right, we got our positive and negative here. And I don't want to break anything because we're going to try putting some leather in there and giving that a shot. Now we got this. This is cut to size. Only thing I think I need to do here, and I don't need to talk loud because I got my microphone on today. Almost got into non-mic mode there. Not Mike as in M-I-K-E, but Mike as in M-I-C. What is going on? What is going on here today? All right. This got to go on here, but I want it in a particular, I want it, not that it matters. I don't think it needs to be perfectly even, but I try to get these to like sit flush because it's going to clamp up better and stronger if they're sitting flush, right? So we'll do that. And I'm going to kind of orient it like with this thing here. Oh, let's make sure that there's no sharp edges. I got a little bit of a sharp edge right here. I got the heater on my feet too, dude. It feels good. I was in Critter Getter's live last night. He was He was dressing raccoons. It was pretty cool. Dressing raccoons from his traps, and so shout out to Critter Getter wherever you're at. Yeah, they probably sold mostly Tandy leather goods, but it may not have been called Tandy, Mike, because I do recall it probably just said leather on the outside of it. But yeah, it was probably Tandy leather goods. Yeah, leather hats. Yeah, I never like I went in there once or twice. Hey, here's a store. Let me ask you if you remember about this store, Mike. Do you remember Hong Kong? Do you remember the store Hong Kong? This was a store that wasn't in there past the 90s. It was the only thing in my life that I could say was like the first scene of Gremlins when the guy goes down to the shop in Chinatown. This was like actually like one of those shots. Outdoor Malachi, what's going on Outdoor Malachi? Do you remember Hong Kong? That store was awesome, man. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt. You don't want that to happen with leather, though. I don't want my leather to get hurt like that. The thing went straight into my skin. We don't got the camera in the right place right now. That's why we're doing so badly. No, it's gonna be like this anyway, y'all. But welcome, Outdoor Malachi. Probably they didn't send this out to the right people. You know, it's been wonky all day. I said that in Wes's chat. I said live stream's been wonky today, and it just has been. And I know that Rob knows that. Rob saw that happen. I saw it first in Rob's, and then after that, I saw it a couple other places. Usually, man, if Wes is at home in the shop and he's doing 30-some, 40-some people, something ain't right. Something ain't right. You know, there's disconnections and they're not getting everybody in there that they want. So we'll just wait. YouTube fixed the last thing. At least it's not disconnecting, you know. But everybody's numbers looked a bit low, you know, that I just flipped through. Even the guy rapping about his rapping, like, I don't know what he's saying because I can't turn my volume up. BK, welcome. This is actually a piece of wood there, BK. I have cork, but that's not being worked on right now. I got this little splinter a second ago. It got me real good right here. This is where it is. I need to get that off so I don't do that again. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. What's your name? What's your name? Introduce yourself. BK said, hi, Dad. I say hi back. I just seen your pics, Miss Heather. She's beautiful. Miss Heather is the most beautiful woman to me. Yeah. So I got a Zippo lighter with my name engraved in it there. Way too young to be able to buy that, but they sold it to me anyway. They used to have, let's breathe that sawdust in. They used to have that little engraving equipment. They also had iron-ons from the 70s and books that you could flip through. I'll tell you, that was the secret thing. And so I bought a few of those iron-ons. And I held on to them for a number of years and just made shirts out of them, like in the 2000 teens, probably. I had one of this like polar bear in an Arctic scene. Yeah. Josie, hey, I saw your comment. Welcome. Glad you're here. All right, all I'm doing now, BK, is sanding these edges down soft because I'm going to show you right now what I did. And I should have done this a second ago. I'm kind of a creep for doing this, or mean. All right, so now that's nice and soft. I don't want any kind of sharp edges. Maybe this side could be a little bit softer here. And this kind of bump, I might not want that. May not matter. It's got to be soft on all sides. I think these are farrier rasps, like that you do horseshoes with. Well, I'm doing shoes with them, so isn't that cool? Who we got? Bill Salmi, welcome, welcome. Where are you from, Bill? Thanks for popping in the chat. I think I got it. Bill Salmi, right? 1L. Maybe his name is Nabil, because it's B-I-L. Yeah, I haven't been to Springfield Mall in a number of years. I think the last time I went was right before my friend passed away. And I saw him there. It's kind of sad. Here's a story right here. I was friends with a guy for a number of years. We had a rocky relationship as friends because I disagreed with some of his lifestyle choices, like he drank a lot. He was a really cool guy, man. He's out from Colorado. He had a lot of culture. He just was a really nice guy, fun to be around. It was just the fact that, you know, we liked the same girl. That doesn't help, you know. So we had falling out, and I saw him at the mall, Springfield Mall, when I was out there to go to the Cinnabon or something. And I was waiting on someone, so I was sitting in the parking lot, and I saw my friend. I saw my friend walk by there with a lot of hospital bands on his arm. I don't know if you know this, but right down the street from where Springfield Mall is, they built a hospital in Nova Springfield, and he apparently had been back and forth. Now he was 31 years old. He had cirrhosis of the liver. So he had already drank his liver into oblivion, basically. And I imagine he was on his way to the mall to like grab something to eat, and he was in a period where he didn't have to be in the hospital. Oh, Rob is poking you, Miss Heather. And so I saw him there, and I said to myself, either audibly or not audibly, and I sometimes do speak to myself audibly. I said, nope. It's better not to say anything. And I didn't say anything to him. And about 2 weeks later, I found out he died. So he was on his feet, you know, walking a couple miles. He didn't look terribly bad. He didn't look great. But what happened was they offered him he had a chance to get that liver transplant. But he had to stop drinking for a week, and he couldn't stop drinking for a week. He couldn't get the liver transplant, and he died. Real sad, man. Take care of your body. So when y'all see me get weird about alcohol, you know, that's why. I've seen too many people. And I love my dad. Shout out to Dad if he's watching. My dad's a recovering alcoholic. My dad is an alcoholic for many, many years. Is an alcoholic. I think, you know, you consider yourself always. My dad has not drank in, 25 years probably. Oh yeah, so Rob says she was mean, Calvin. She encouraged my wife to be mean. Hey, look, Rob, you're not telling me something I don't already know, man. You're talking about Miss Heather here. I am fully aware that she's mean. Like, I'm fully aware of that. Though I did hear the story and thought it was hilariously funny. You know, strike one is the milk not pouring into your cereal or whatever. Strike 1.5. Kick it on the floor and say, fuck this thing. Soldier Farms, come on, y'all. Smack that like button. I'm in class. Smack that like button like it. What did you say the other day, Soldier Farm? Smack that like button like what? Like it just cursed out your mama, right? Smack that like button like it just like it's your 10-year-old birthday piñata. Smack that like button. Smack it. That's what we're going to start saying instead of smash it. Because smash just has a... Yeah, it is, man. It sure is, dude. It is a terrible, terrible thing. And people don't know that the powers that be will gladly let you die of all the stuff that alcohol does to you. Alcohol has a lobby. Big alcohol in their lobby. I mean, here's the thing: the dope dealers don't have a lobby. That's why you hear about the opioid epidemic so much. The guys selling dope don't have people in Washington greasing the palms of politicians, but the guys that sell alcohol sure do. And that's the reason that you have so much access to alcohol, so many commercials, so much. And I'm not against alcohol as a substance. I'm not. I'm against the way that it's made mainstream to be drunk, to be like, it's just, look, hey, here's a story, and Heather will relate to this. We know someone who has a boyfriend who's older than her. She's an adult. She's responsible enough. She's with a guy who's significantly older than her, who had a family, has a family. It has an ex-wife and has a child, and he cannot manage himself watching with the kid and being her boyfriend, apparently, without getting hammered drunk. And her parents, she's like barely 30 years old, right? Is she even 30? Is she 30? Heather can tell me. Her parents are like, nah, go give him. This guy had he flipped out. He went catatonic and got so drunk that he couldn't manage himself. His little girl had to go home with her mother, even though she was supposed to be with him. And then her parents tell her to go make up with this guy. Like, no, it's acceptable to do that. What if he was laid out on the floor with a needle in his arm? Would you say it's okay for her to go back then? Think about that for a second. What if the same guy was not an alcoholic, but he was a dope addict, right? And he had a needle in his arm. Would you send your daughter back over there with that, knowing that he's just going to go right back to it? Or is it because alcohol's okay? Am I right? There we go. So that's the thing. That's my problem. My problem is that everybody, and I actually got in an argument with Mike Golick. I don't know if you know who that guy is. He was a radio host. He was a former NFL player. I called in his show and we had a 5 to 10 minute argument about alcohol. And he let me stay on the line. I was very critical of him. He could have hung up on me. But what the argument was that they were taking smoking out of the FedEx Field, which is a stadium here, stadium in the DC area. I know Mike, if he's still in the house, he'll know what it is. They were kicking the smokers out. And I said, I'm not a big fan of smoking either. I used to be a smoker. I think at the time I probably was, so I felt defensive. But I was like, you kick the smokers out, but I seen people throw beer bottles at each other in that stadium. That dude, like, the smoking's worse than that. You bring your child to a place that's openly hostile and just, the game hasn't even started and people are sloshed, right? It's a problem, man. People use anything as an excuse to hide in that substance. They hide in it and then it's okay, right? I'm the one that's the problem. Calvin, have a drink, relax, right? Nah, it's not that. It's not me. What do we got? Dota Kahedron 90. Thanks for coming in and commenting. That's terrifying. Just 50 years ago, beating a woman with a stick was okay. That's where the rule of, yes, I have heard of that rule of thumb. That is correct. I have heard that. Yeah, FedEx Field is a mess. RFK Stadium was a better build, actually, but they tore that down. Yeah. I'm not against, again, hey, Critter Getter, what's up, man? I'm not against alcohol as a substance. It's just when it is just wholesale pushed on people and it's okay to be a drunk moron. Like, I don't like that. That's my only thing. So you guys know it's nothing against any individual person. Most people drink. I'm the outside, and I don't not drink either. I'm not a temperate or like a teetotaler. I drink occasionally, but like I just seen my dad, my aunts and uncles, all of them, man. They're all my uncle's got like 4 DWIs, and he's very wealthy. This guy can't get away from it, just can't. I heard he was sober recently. That's good. I'm glad he's trying, but just, hey, man, it's good. It's good. How you doing there, Critter Getter? Loved watching raccoon dressing last night. I was telling them about that a few minutes ago. I enjoyed that very much. All right, so I want to make sure that this mold here is I don't actually need to do this right now. I can take this out. What I need to do now, y'all see this? And I'll show, So here's what we got, BK. We got this positive and negative mold, right? We're gonna put the piece of leather between the two of them. We're gonna press it down. We're gonna get it wet because with veg tan leather, we can wet that leather. And we're gonna press this mold down. We're gonna put clamps on it. We'll let it sit for a little while until the leather molds into that cup shape, into the shape of this right here. And then I can take cork and whatever else and put that into these, into the shape of the foot, right? And we can add rubber. I'm gonna take recycled shoe rubber and stuff like that and play around with putting different, yeah, good, man, good. Said doing good, sir. We're gonna, put stuff in there. I got cork. I got this barge cement. That's what we're gonna do. So next thing I need to do, and I want them kind of in the same relative place. Critter Getter, man. I was like I think I was on your website, and I was like, man, where are his pelts? I want a bobcat. I want like a couple coyotes. I'm like, where does he sell his pelts? And I clicked the pelt part, but I don't think you have pelts for sale on your website. But I would certainly, the work you do is excellent. I would love to like patronize you, your pelts, and be a regular purchaser of those, is to turn them into craft and fine goods. You take it back to America here, and we make stuff ourselves back in the day, and it was good, right? Things used to be made really well. And I'm not against Japanese made stuff either, because they do a good job too. I see a lot of crap though, man. Temu is like, I think Temu is the end of this cycle of shit that they want to feed us, right? The cycle of trash that they try to replace quality goods with. I think Temu is the end of that. Hopefully it is. I mean, I hope it is. All right, here we go. So we're going to clamp this. We're going to glue this up. This is just oak plywood from a cabinet. Calvin is part of Bigfoot family. Oh, they are coming there at the tannery as we speak. Sweet, man. Sweet. I love that. Yeah. Also, your merch is cool too. I'm into your stuff, man. I'm buying it completely, bro. Like I'm sold. You and Oak Ridge have been very, very nice, man. I appreciate both y'all, and I like to learn a lot from you. That's where I'm at right now. I just want to pick both y'all's brains and learn what y'all know, and learn how to get my trapping license this year. Be a little too late, because our trapping season really ends in like 2 days. So it wouldn't make sense for me to start trapping this year. Though I can trap privately on private land up in Virginia. I can trap on my dad's land out of season for certain things. I think raccoons, nutria, muskrat, and definitely squirrels. But I don't need to trap squirrels. I'll hunt them. Little boogers. But I am going to start trapping next year. I'm going to get that license, and I'm going to watch a lot of your videos. I'm going to get it straight, man. There are bobcats in those woods. Tons of raccoons, because my dad trapped a bunch of them. So I know they're out there. I love raccoons too, man. I kind of have affection for the animal, but I have to separate myself from that a little bit. So I'm learning from y'all. I love it. It's enjoyable. It's really interesting. I guess y'all were talking about vacation last night. You get into this deep part of the end of winter, and you start focusing on that vacation, thinking about that. That was kind of, I think thinking about vacations way too early was one of the reasons that I realized I had to switch my career profession. I had to switch, because I was like, man, I'm thinking about vacation on the first day of school, right? I was a teacher. So I'm thinking of vacation the first day, second day of school. I'm like, where am I going to go? This is what happens when you're tanning, and you got salt on everything. So I had salt on all these hides. I actually didn't let the salt ever touch these clamps. This is just from what was in the air, right? That rust, all that corrosion from salt in the air, just from brining and salting the back of these hides. All right. Tried to I maybe put some lithium grease on there today. I got it on the other surface there. Jorgensen clamps, y'all, they're good. Like the cryptid, yeah. Oh, I see. Bigfoot. I see. Yeah. Yeah, well, these are the outsoles, right? So these are going to be a little bit larger than which I hope I put enough. I hope I buttered enough glue on there, y'all. I don't know if I did. Feels like it's fine. It'll be all right. All of that surface area. Where did I stack those other clamps at? Tell Pilato he lost my clamps. Oh, sorry if I hit the microphone, y'all. I do that a lot, though. All right, where are my clamps at? Oh, there they go. I want that all the way over, all the way to the edge if I can get it there. And the more pressure, the better. Just like I said earlier, man, woodworker's best friend is clamps. You cannot have too many. I got pipe clamps and long clamps over on the other side of the room too. Keep a bunch of clamps. It's always good. Critter Getter got a trapping channel, and he's beautiful furs and coyote and bobcat, lots of beautiful shop. Also, he's not in here at the moment, but Oak Ridge Taxidermy, who put me on to Critter Getter, he has great shop too. He's got a live up right now with just a question and answer live, kind of. It's about this. It's like a 14-point buck, man. It's a huge buck that he's got mounted in there. Carrie here. Carrie, did I not say hello to Carrie? I'm sorry, Carrie. I am beside myself. I'm not doing right today. I need to like say some tongue twisters. And then we're gonna try this mold out, y'all. We're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna get a piece of leather. I got a trick too. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. So this stuff right here is like a mixture of beeswax and beeswax. I got some different oils in there. I got some tea tree oil and some other stuff. I'm gonna take this stuff after I get my my leather like moistened. I'm gonna take this stuff and spread it with a slicker out there, and then I'm gonna press that leather out to the edge using this stuff to kind of paste it down. I might have to make another batch of this stuff, man. Heather and I use it, and we even give it away as gifts. It's really good for skin. It's like a salve, you know. So then I'll paste that skin down like I did. That's how I did my raccoon skin before I put it on the apron, you know. And I probably should have clamped some of these from the other direction. All right, y'all, see that? We got our positive mold or male mold here. I don't see a whole lot of squeeze out. Probably not a good thing. You kind of want squeeze out generally on there. But tighten them down here. Hope I'm going the right direction there. Want that tight, snug as possible. Put that aside. Welcome, Carrie. Big time friend of the program, Carrie. I'm going to see my boys. I'm psyched I get to see my boys again. Miss my boys. Shout out to my boys if they're out there. They're probably in school. I heard yeah, so these are actually from a drawer set that Heather had. I just dismantled the whole thing. It was made with an oak plywood. So I was like, man, I can use that for, and it's got nice straight edges on it, so it makes easy stock to work with. All right, let's find a piece of leather. I don't know if I want to use something the full size of this yet. Generally, we want a piece of leather that goes this entire size, and we press it down. It's going to be a scrap after that goes the width of the entire mold, right? All right, but let's find something to do with that because I got enough scraps in here that I can find something that'll work. This is a deer face. I'd probably work with that, or I could take 2 pieces of leather and sew them together. 2 pieces of leather, sew them together. This is part of a deer hide here. Maybe we can use that. That might actually work. Though there's not a lot of slack on that side. We can see whether it works with that. Now I could flatten it back out if I don't want to keep it like that. What do y'all think? Want to try that? Let's try it. Y'all see what's going to happen here? Well, what's going to kind of happen because I don't have a square piece. I'm not going to waste a square piece till I know this thing works. I maybe can stick another piece in there to fill up that gap. But I'd like it to be kind of like this leather in behavior. Nah, we're just doing this. This is already a nice enough piece of leather. It should do. Y'all just see my butt? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that y'all didn't have to see my butt crack right there. I'm really conscious of y'all seeing my butt crack, you know? Try to be good about that. I'm just moistening this piece of bark tan. This is a piece of bark tan deer hide. This was made mostly with pecan and acorn hulls. That was how I tanned it. It's been around since I took, this was an animal that I did take. This was back in November-ish. My first one, I think, kind of got the ball rolling. All right, let's try it. And I don't know whether you're supposed to, there's no real book on this, man. This is kind of like something they keep secret, y'all. This is secret. You're learning secrets in Dad's workshop today. Oh, by the way, the subscriber goal today is 5,150 subscribers. That's what we want. 5,150 subscribers. And we can do that today, y'all. Double tap that screen, like this video, but also subscribe. Whew. Thank goodness. Yeah. Glad y'all didn't see my butt. Once we get this properly moistened here, this maybe should be a full square of leather that covers this entire mold. But I think we might get an idea of whether this mold works, where I have to like widen it out. I might have to widen it out. Here's the other thing I'm worried about, y'all. Now that I do this, if I don't widen it out and I press this down with clamps and it doesn't, and I force it down, it could snap this plywood. So I don't want to, and also getting the leather wet makes me think that I need to seal this plywood too with like a polyurethane potentially, or something oil-based, because yeah, I might take material out of this inside. One of them needs to lose material because this is too much. Oh no, there it goes. Needs to be snug, right? Oh no, don't break on me. All right, so maybe, possibly, this was something I did anticipate. Whoa, what's going on? Did I get a super chat? Baby kisses? Thank you so much, BK. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. Let me do a little drum roll for the baby kisses super chat. BK with the super chat. Drum roll, please. Drum rolls are brought to you by Mike is Making Stuff. Here we go with the real drum roll. Because that's how we live around here, y'all. Here we go. BK. BK with a super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, BK. All right, so what I'm trying to do now, and I think maybe I don't want to force this, because if I force it down on here, it goes down easy like that, right? But there's not enough gap for this leather. So this is what I think we should do before I force anything down. I want to move the camera back up. I'm going to take some more material out of this. I'm trying to think of the easiest way I could do that. It's not going to be that jigsaw. If I pull that out, that's just too crude of a tool for this. That's a way I can kind of test the, my buckskin would probably fall into this, but this has grain on this leather, so it's thicker, right? Which is the way I want the soles of these. This will be for moccasins and also for flip flops. I'm going crab fishing this summer in the Chesapeake. That's my vacation, and I want to have some flip flops out there on the pier, because I just throw my pots down from the pier. Daniel in the house, welcome Daniel. Thanks for being here. Big shout out to Daniel, big supporter, showing us a lot of support. Did I miss something? Okay. Come on out and tell me what your idea is so I can figure it out. So yeah, here's where I'm right now. The problem is that there's not enough of a gap here. This kind of happened when I did the wood bending. I didn't leave enough of a gap. Yeah. So I need to like take this back out, and either stuff has to come out of this or stuff has to come off of that.
Okay, so my thought was was using it, but if you wanted to, where's your piece? Couldn't you also do it like
and put the thing on the top?
And first off, like, isn't a lot of it like marking and like pushing and pushing?
Kind of, it is kind of like marking, but it does push through the.
I don't know, just I was.
Yeah, so that was kind of what I said when I started. I said I don't know whether you want the negative on top or the negative on bottom, or whether that even matters. Right?
Yeah.
But we could try it. But my problem is if I put clamps on it and force it, this plywood is going to snap. Oh, it's going to snap if I put pressure down. So I'm better off actually just like backing away from it and working the inside of this. Now a sanding machine, an angle grinder, something like that I could do it with, but all of that is going to be really crude. It's going to take a lot of material quickly. Yeah. So I think what I should do is actually sand it. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
I just saw that the idea of putting an impression down and like working it all.
That's basically what it is. That's what you're doing with these molds. It's putting an impression down, but it's going to cup it up, so it should hold in that shape.
Yeah, it should dry there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way these are. Now, if you get a really expensive veg tan like wallet and it has that curve to it, that's because they put it into one of these molds. Yep. So we are going to, I'm going to take material from the negative part of this mold while I let this leather soak in water to get supple as it's going to get. We'll take this. Oh, whoa. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel just sent a gift membership. Thank you so much, Daniel. Who got it, though? Who got it? Let's see who got it. Sebastian. I've seen Sebastian up in here occasionally. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thanks for that membership. And yeah, you can become a member today, too. All you got to do is go down there where it has a little dollar sign, and you click that, or you tap that, and that's how you become a member. It's okay.
She said the folds won't work. So what if you use this as a stencil to draw on it and then cut it out and then
the folds won't work.
The fold in the leather.
Oh no, you can though. Yeah, so what you do is just fold them over if you have that. I've seen people do it. They just take the leather and crimp it over. I know what she's talking about, right? Because leather is not going to want to go into the shape you want it to go into, right? So, we got another one. We got something else here. Oak Ridge Taxidermy. Man, shout out to Oak Ridge. Thank you so much for that. I will do my drum roll on that. Oak Ridge, I was just talking about you a minute ago. I was saying Critter Getter how I got to pick you and Critter Getter's brain and get y'all skills, man. You guys got skills, and it's always, I enjoy being in y'all's live stream. So I think BK is talking about wrinkles because this hide was on an animal and they're curved. We're curved as animals. There's no right angles in nature. So she's saying when this gets pressed down, it's going to crimp, right? But what I've seen people do is fold it over.
Do you want a lip on it, or do you just want it flat in the shape?
I don't think you can do that without having somewhat of a lip.
Well, are they gonna be like layered? That's what I'm trying to, because I was thinking of maybe using this as a stencil, and then that way you don't actually have to carve more out. I
definitely thought about that. You could put weight on it or whatever, but I think if I can get this right, this is the best way to do it.
Oh, I mean, no matter what, you're gonna use it.
It's gonna be you're gonna get a consistent product. But I know what BK is talking about right here. So if you look at right here, and you can look on your phone too, right here, there would be where it's crimped, right? So you would have to fold that over. There's going to be spots, and the way to deal with it after it's in shape is to cut that spot and
Yeah,
either
so like
stitch
in
it
the
up
V, yeah.
or just handle it in a different way. You can kind of see what it's going to do there. And yes, you'll have spots that might have to be folded over or folded down. In case you're wondering why this has that pebble grain on it, that's because I was really violent with this hide when I was tanning it.
Yeah.
I would twist it and put tremendous force on it, and I did it really fast. I tanned this hide in like a month. So that gives that pebble grain look to it. If you tan slower and you don't twist as hard, you don't end up with these pebble grains.
Critters had wet it, stretch it, the wrinkles would come out.
Wet it, stretch it.
Cutting it and then wetting it and stretching it.
Yeah.
And then that way pressing it so that it's in its mold when it's dry.
This is like neck meat right here, or back, right? Y'all see that? This is like back butt area. I think I got the neck somewhere else. That might be the top of that apron, actually. The neck part of this deer.
Like if you stenciled it and cut it out and then worked it and then played it down and then maybe trimmed a little extra, and then you put it in that mold and tightened it down.
Yeah.
It would dry in that shape, and then no wrinkles, and you can layer on. Because you're gonna do the same thing kind of with every other layer and push it on. And
Right.
Push it on, right?
I want one to have a wet mold cup shape though.
Okay, you
Right?
want that.
Because
the top of the top of the foot?
it would be the bottom, and then there would be rubber glued or stitched to the bottom of that. So
like where your foot goes.
yes.
So it's the top part of it.
Yes, but it's going to have soft stuff between your foot and that, what you see wet mold.
It's not going to be foot on leather.
It's going to be foot on leather, and then under the leather there's going to be cork. Under that will be another layer of leather, and then under that will be a layer of rubber.
Yeah, so this is the top layer.
Top layer, yes. Or what holds all the whole assembly together. So you said wet it and stretch it. The wrinkle should come out. Yeah, we'll try that. This thing has been worked. This is a tough piece of leather. This also, one thing I didn't do with this leather was I didn't put it through baiting. I didn't put it through a bucking solution. Like I didn't lime this leather at all. This leather would be softer and thicker if I'd have limed it and baited it properly. But I didn't do either of those things with this leather. It went straight from pickle. What did I put it in after that? I just went straight from pickle to a water, and then I flushed it, I think, and then put it straight into tannins. So that's what happened with that. This is kind of this is new. Y'all see me learning stuff. I don't have an answer for it yet. So I'm gonna take all y'all's advice to the best of my ability. But we just want to test this out. So anyway, let me bring the camera back over here so I can sand a little bit of this edge out. Yeah, critter getter. I'm gonna definitely put some. I'm gonna have to wet it and stretch it anyway. It's gonna get pushed hard through the mold. But let's do this real quick. I'm gonna take some more material off of this. I think I'll use a rasp to do this too. Let me get my drumsticks and do this first though. Ladies and gentlemen, $10 super chat from Oak Ridge. Drum roll, please. Thank you so much. That is Oak Ridge Taxidermy. Shout out to Oak Ridge. Hey, if you are into deer mounting and taxidermy like I am, I'm totally into that stuff. Check out Oak Ridge's page. I'm trying to get him to 400. When I checked Oak Ridge's subs this morning, he was at 399. So if he's still there, you get to be the special 400 subscriber to Oak Ridge's channel. So subscribe to Oak Ridge. He's a nice guy up there. I think he's in Western Maryland, if I get the accent right. Wet it, stretch it, yeah. So stay with me here, and let's see if we can do a little bit of work on this. Got like this farrier rasp here. I just need a little more slack. Thanks everybody for your ideas, and there's not a lot of, at least not like AI or any kind of information that's easily accessible without books. That's going to tell me how to do this kind of. So having you guys' input is always good for this. My problem is because this stock is so thin, if I try to pressure this down on that leather and it the clamps bend. Oh, what do we got? Hey, 20 shekels. 20 shekels from my man over here, Daniel. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate those 20 shekels. Let me get my drumstick so I can do another drum roll. 20 shekels. Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel with 20 shekels, which I believe it's like divided by 3. So we translates it similar to Oak Ridge. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I had to guess the Israeli currency the other night. That was my my challenge. All right. Cross your fingers. Close your eyes. Thank you so much to Oak Ridge Taxidermy. And thank you so much to Daniel and all my members and all my friends who are in the chat and in the gallery right now. I call it the gallery. That's the moving group of people that's passing through all the time. In a museum, you would call it that, right? Some folks, they just pass by and they look at something once. This I did with a wing divider. It's about a centimeter beyond the mold there. This could be all day if I do this like this, though. I could do this with buckskin and probably demonstrate it really quickly. I might have to do that. Hey guys, check this out. My YouTube channel, I'm trying to get to 5,150 subscribers. That's my goal today. Let me check it real quick. Since you're hanging out, I'm at 5,142. I got a lot more to go, y'all. Let's get to that 5,150. That's where we're trying to get today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get there. Let's get there. No reason we can't get there today. I like the file pushing, but that wants to take the plywood out. 5,150 subscribers. I'm racing to that. You could be that person that gets me to my goal today. Help me out. Now, it's not down in the bottom. I don't think I have that goal down there. It's a little complicated, but I'll tell you verbally. The goal is 5,150. That's what we're going for today. Help me out. Let's go. 5,150 subscribers today by the end of my live stream. That's what we're going for. Let's say 5,152. 5,152. That'll get me the extra one so that I don't wake up and see it's in the, below that. All right. Check that now. See if we got enough play, as my dad would say. It has no play, Calvin. I think I could fit it through there. Maybe a little bit from this, if I'm putting them, lining them up together. Maybe a little bit from this, this top bit. I feel like that should work. We'll do this too. And I don't mind having a little bit of a rounded off edge on this. Oh, wow. Actually, a little bit easier to deal with than that, the negative form. Yes, this is Dad's Workshop where we do strange, crafty things. My name is Calvin. What's your name? I'd love to know your name, where you're from. You know, come in here and talk to us. Don't be a stranger. We won't bite. I promise. I mean, I speak for myself. You know, I know Daniel won't bite. Baby Kisses won't bite. Miss Heather might, though. I'm not gonna lie. Rob or Rob's wife might. You know, can't vouch for them. Baby Kiss says she does not bite. Officially. Heather does actually bite. She will admit that as well, I think. She even bites things she likes. Occasionally I walk in, I just get bit. I have no idea. She just pops out of nowhere. She may have rabies. I don't know. She's too friendly with these animals. She probably had that bite that she put on me yesterday checked out. Y'all think I'm joking. In every joke, there's some disturbing truth. If Miss Heather comes in here and says she doesn't bite, I'm just going to say she does not bite. I'll say, yes, she doesn't. She's not looking right now. She's not paying attention. I see her putting laundry up. She doesn't know. She said, no, I said that. No, shh, don't tell her. Don't tell her. She'll get mad. She'll get mad. Don't tell her. I can see her right now. She's putting laundry up. I shouldn't have said that. I might get a bit just for saying that. Don't tell her. Shh, I'm scared, y'all. Oh, what she's gonna do. I don't know if she has her phone on her or not. She might have put it in the house. Oh, please, please. Then she said it, baby, because it says, "Oh my word." The same thing she said on that in the comment of that West Does It video with the chains. She said, "Oh my word." Not sorry. See, she heard. I gotta be careful now. I need to put on my Kevlar vest before I go in the house now. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Do introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, and let's become fast friends. Y'all see me take that up? That's not good. All right, I'm just gonna take that off. I would glue it down, but I don't have time to do that today. This is the part that got me, a little splintered me. What? Critter getters. Thank you. You're pretty good with the wood, and it rhymes, man. You know what I mean? About to do a drum roll. Miss Heather was telling me something, but I have no idea what it was. She'll get it. She'll get it to me once she puts that laundry up. And then I'll do that drum roll for that Critter Getter super chat. We appreciate you, Critter Getter. I mean, everybody, you know, every little bit counts here. What? Yeah, I saw that. All right, she was just telling me you did the super chat, Critter Getter. That's it. So Critter Getter, first super chat too. Let's do that, man. Critter Getter, crushing it on YouTube, by the way. Got a huge channel over there. Y'all can check that out. He's got a lot of videos. Do another drum roll right here. All right, let's go with the drum. Critter Getter with the $5 super chat like this. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, like this, actually. So it's a sloppy roll, man. Hi, Critter Getter. Sorry, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Critter Getter with the $5 super chat. I thought that was a walnut over there. Had a piece of wood over there. Thought it was walnut, but it's actually sassafras. Y'all know that? This is sassafras. Y'all ever made anything out of sassafras? Critter Getter, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. I think I softened this up. Oak Ridge, you gotta give me prices on those knives too, man. If you get a chance. Not trying to, I'm sure you're working or something right now. That knife with the bear and the Indian dude in it. Man, where's Mike been? Is Mike all right? We need to send a church at Mike. We need to call Mike's church or something. Critter Getter is a trapper, by the way. Yo, you know, it's a culture that goes back a little bit in American history. Don't know if you've heard of it. We have a little bit of history with it as a country. Y'all, I appreciate all those super chats, man. I really do. It really, really, man. You know, if I will be out here busting my tail as long as I can entertain y'all and you know, contribute to the community and things like that. Let me get this even more. It's nice and soaked in now, so I think it's going to be. This is just a trial because I'm not going to use an uneven piece on this. I think I'm going to use an exact, either a piece bigger than this spot or at least equal to. And like I need a whole edge to go down, but I do want to see if it'll work. And I think we can find that out right now. I think we're going to find that out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear cracking. I don't want that. I don't want that. We're close, at least. Yeah, I'm sure y'all get the idea now, though. See, it's so close. Oh, I hear cracking. I cannot let this crack. Oh, man, am I going to have to make this out of thicker stock? It's okay, though. Hey, look, if it doesn't work out and for some reason I crack something, what I'll do is I'll do this on a 2x8, right? Wood is always going to want to split grain-wise, right? But if I do this, I could probably almost fit this form on a 2x8. Maybe I laminate two 2x8s together if I have to. That's my plan B if this doesn't work. We put the 2x8 there. We do it with a 2x8 or two of them. Like here, you know, laminate. When I say laminate, y'all, I mean make a surface out of two boards, right? That's lamination. When you take two boards. Now this has dowels between it to secure the lamination. It's not been worked, but this is like some kind of a projector shelf I made or something, or I made it for some specific purpose. But laminated, by that I mean taking two or more pieces and joining them. All right, so here I'm going to take this. I'm going to do a little bit of chiseling. Actually, I'll do it off at the bottom of this. No, I won't. I changed my mind. Here's what we're going to do. Like seriously, when I say there's no blueprint on this, it's kind of tricky. So many areas where you can fail, right? You've got all these points of failure. And I didn't even think about the fact of, no, that's not going to be a big enough clamp for that area. I didn't even think about the wood being thin and putting pressure down on it and it having a problem with splitting. I didn't even consider that. See, it's always the thing, whatever can go. That's a Murphy's Law thing, y'all. Murphy's Law. All right, I want to work that heel a little bit. So I'm going to take a chisel and I've got my workpiece fairly secure. Chiseling a mallet here. And I'm going to take a little bit off this edge here. Feathers inside. These are Narex chisels. They're very good. I've had these for over 10 years. I put some new edges on some of them with the bench grinder recently. And they took that edge pretty well. And I have made a lot of stuff with these chisels. Many beds, probably a dozen beds or a half a dozen to a dozen beds for sure with these chisels. They used to be more reasonable. They're a little more expensive than they used to be. I think I got them when Narex was kind of on the come up and they were selling their stuff a little cheaper. Thanks to all those super chat donators today. BK, Oak Ridge, Critter Getter, Daniel, all y'all. Thank you so much for your donations. I think that might be enough. That's like cooking with grease when you do that. And then we'll sand it a little. We don't want sharp edges. I just don't want to force this thing and break it if I can avoid it at all. I can see it getting broken soon. So I have to make one of these out of a more rigid material that can handle that pressure. Or the mold has to be smaller, you know. If you know me, man, I like to do things outside of convention. I don't like following rules a lot. I might learn rules and then almost immediately break them. If you watch my videos on building bunk beds, my bunk beds are all built with no plans, and I didn't use any hardware. So there's no nails, no screws, no pins, no staples. There's no hardware in any of those. I built 2 bunk bed sets with no hardware, and I had no plans and I had no convention and no one to tell me how to do it. I picked every single joint myself. Everything I did was to try to get the best possible product. You know, that was what I was. BK said, Heather, I used to have these black suede boots that went to my knees, just suede on an insole inside. Never got, man, those actually sound really comfortable. I love that. See, suede breathes and buckskin breathes, you know. Never got too hot to wear in Kansas. I wore them all the time. Yeah. Yeah. See, I can relate to that too, BK. Don't just tell Heather, tell me too. I like that kind of stuff. But Heather is there, like reading every chat comment. I'm trying to. I try, y'all. I try my hardest. Oh, I got another jar of that stuff if I run out of the little bit that I have. No heel probably sounds like moccasin boots almost, like Minnetonkas, which I'm sure you're aware of, BK. You know, Critter Getter sounds like a little bit from me, like from the Midwest. I don't know, Critter Getter, if he's still in here. Are you from up in the Midwest? A lot of Midwestern folks. Get a lot of those in here. That still seems small. That's crazy. It can't seem the same. I just took physical material off of it. What am I doing differently? Maybe I'd do what Critter Getter said and stretch her. This hide has been broken so many times. Like I broke this thing repeatedly. Then it got rock solid, like we'll cut you rock solid. And then I broke it again. And then I soaked it again. And then I broke it against a cable. You know, yeah, like a moccasin, yeah. I appreciate everybody's donations today. That was very kind of you all. Appreciate you so much. That's how we get by. Yeah, but the best way you can support, especially if you're out there and you're just coming in for the first time, you don't know me. Oh, there we go. Ben, out. Go. Get your butt out of here. All right. It's going to break right here. All right, y'all see what's going on here? And it doesn't need to be perfect. And I think maybe it's close here. All right, let's pin it. Let's see if we can. If people on the YouTube live stream craft circuit don't like this, I don't know what they're like. This is really, it's pretty cool stuff. You're not going to find this anywhere else on YouTube, really. Except for there are wet molding videos. But they're limited. They're very complex for people. This is like a wet molding live stream, right? No, I don't need that much. I don't need that much tense power down on it. See, if this was a full piece of leather, that's going to press into that area. And I don't even want to put that much pressure down on it, y'all. See, because it wants to break. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. I think the key is actually just keep removing material probably until you get to where you're comfortable pressing down with it. I'll glue this up if it breaks though. I'll try, you know. And then the plywood is porous, so I'm putting water on it, and that's not going to help. So I think I need to seal the plywood too. Essentially, I think I could probably keep it from breaking by like duct taping these. And you know, they say can't duck it, fuck it, right? So you duct tape these sides here and provide them with a little extra rigidity. Maybe that would actually prevent it from breaking. Well, it probably would actually. Quite sure it would. We're gonna put one clamp on this side like this, if you can still see, and I'm not gonna tighten it down too much, just a little. And then, oh, not enough. See, I'm glad I'm wearing my boots, man. That would have hurt. No SpongeBob flip-flops today. No SpongeBob slides today, y'all. All right, we got one on there. And another one. Yeah, did I use all my clamps up? I got more clamps than that. That one might not work for this, though. You could probably put little screw jacks in these if they were really well built and just like wing nuts, basically, install the hardware rather than putting clamps on there. I think it would be like a more permanent way to do it. I'm not tightening. That's why y'all see them flopping. I don't really want to tighten it much more than that. BK said I had a lot of fun in Kansas when I was a young lady your age. Yeah, based on the boots, you know, I can imagine that you were pretty wild out there in Kansas there, BK. You know, whenever someone says, "Oh, is that knee-length boots?" You know, that's always something that clues me in that they're wild. I bet, even with what I've heard you share so far, I have no doubt. Yeah, I don't either. I don't doubt that you had some fun. All right, so let's take this, and since we've got, it's not going to be a perfect representation of the way that this mold is going to work because there's a couple things I need to fix. For one, the stock that I use for this is too thin. What I should have done is done double that, like what you have here for the whole mold as one part of the mold, right? Which would take a little longer because I did this all by hand. The other thing is that I'm going to use a full piece of rectangular leather next time I do this so that it will fit all the way around the mold. We won't have edges like that popping up. But we'll get an idea of whether it works to mold that down in a few minutes because I will... okay, BK, I believe you. She said, I wasn't wild. I was friendly and respectful. And I can't hear her tone, so I know that it's not sarcastic. Or I can't assume it's sarcastic, right? All right, so here's our negative for the next mold. Because when we need work in here, we got to keep doing stuff. Okay, good. Not sarcastic. BK is awesome. We love you, BK. We appreciate you too. Oh, we're so close to 5,150. So close to 5,150. This is what I need though. I need you to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to that 5,150. Let's say 5,152 and I'll let you off the hook. You know, 5,152. I will let you off the hook. You know, that will be all I will bother you for. I promise. I promise my word does mean 5,152. That's it. I will stop there and stop bothering folks about it. That's it. We're so close to 5,150. That's all I want to see tomorrow morning. So if we could do that and get to that 5,152 mark, I know tomorrow morning when I wake up, and I turn off my Pokemon alarm that the Pokemon theme turns on, you know, in the morning. Got to catch them all and all of that. When that comes on, and I turn that off and I check my phone, which as Rob said is a sign of depression. When I check my phone, it's gonna be 5,100, at least 5,150. See, that's why I do that, because YouTube unsubscribes people, spammers or whatever. So we have to make sure like we go a little over our goal number so that we have that goal number, you know. I'll try to be an overachiever, y'all. I'll try to be. Hey, Mike Osborne, welcome. So many different signs. Dude, I did read the whole thing, but yeah, that was just one of them. Yeah. I had this idea, right? And I wish you all would have seen it. When I first laid these out, I took my wing divider and I went around and put a centimeter around everything. I should have cut everything out that 1 centimeter wider, I think. That would have made a difference, you know? Really happy with the direction Dad's workshop is going. Today we're doing a little bit of woodwork along with leatherwork, you know, combining the two, synthesizing stuff we learn. Wes was talking about how he learned all of everything he knows this morning is what he was talking about in his live stream. Everything he knows from other YouTubers. So it may be a slight exaggeration, being that he was a contractor and all of that. It is true. You learn a lot when you immerse yourself and you have other people to teach you stuff a lot, you know? You can learn quite a bit. The mind is really capable of doing pretty amazing things. I think had I not been running a live stream, I might have struggled to finish those bunk beds. You know, it kept me honest. It kept me accountable being on YouTube and doing it for others. I had to follow the rules. I had to do every joint correctly. You know, I didn't ever feel like I had to finish something that day, but I did feel like it needed to be finished. And then when I did the first one, I thought there were some improvements that I could make. It took me about 3 months to do that first one, if you recall, if you were around. 3 months or 4 months. And then 3 months or 4 months to do the second one also. I just calculated this recently. I thought it took me more like a year to build those two, but it was more like 7 months to do, 7-8 months to do both of them. There's still some things I was fixing on it last time it was there. I had to go and fix the ladder. There weren't dowels all the way through the ladder rungs properly, so freaking out my mom. But my niece loves it. My sons love it. So that's all that matters now, man. Hopefully it becomes a family heirloom. You know, I try to build heirloom quality stuff. And if you're interested in that bunk bed, there's a number of videos. A lot of my lives from last year too. All those video on demand lives show you the whole process basically of it, and also a number of shorts that I made. This little abnormality right here, I want that gone. Oh man, this stuff is lethal if you get stuck with it. I got another deer hide out there in this can, kind of getting soaked in soap and water. It's funky, man. Nasty thing. Yesterday I processed that. I won't give you that whole story, but suffice it to say that thing was, I told Heather it was going to be a challenge for me. And I got through it, man. Well, I got through that part. There's a lot more to do with that hide, but yeah, I got through that part for sure. Turn this upside down so I can get after these little spots. What do we got here? Oh, it's Luke. Hey there. Hello, everyone. This is Luke McGlynn. Oh, my God. Hey there. Hello, everyone. This is Luke McGlynn White from Dublin. Checking in, and I trust that you're all well. Hey, Calvin. Hello, Heather. Everyone else in the chat, hope you're well. And we hope you're well, too, as well, Luke. It is evening over there in Ireland. Nothing like a beautiful Irish evening, you know. Over there on the Emerald Isle. As I told you before, my Scottish accent's better than my Irish accent. I don't know if y'all know this, but you can actually see Scotland from Ireland. Not from Ireland, not from the Republic of Ireland. Nowhere in the Republic of Ireland can you see Scotland. But if you're on the very, I think they call it the Giants Steps. It's up there in the northernmost part of Northern Ireland. And it's where those little hexagonal stones are. Steps of the Giants or something. 7 p.m. Yes. Yeah, that's about right. Then you can look across the, what's that? Is that the Irish Sea or the North Sea? And you can see the tip of Scotland there. Forget whether it's all Scots are Irish or all Irish are Scots. It's one of the two. Like, it was an exchange a long time ago, though. We're talking about a long time ago. Now, the Ulster Scots are different. That was because of religion, and colonialization, because Ireland was the first colony of England. 2155. So that is 9:55 p.m. over there in Israel. Giant's Causeway, that's it. Yep. Giant's Causeway, that's what it's called. And these stones, pretty amazing. They're like hexagonal, I believe. Probably the only time you ever see that in nature, where you have geometric shapes that are like, besides on a molecular level. You can look at diamonds and stuff and see a molecular shape of perfect angles. But when it comes to on a macro level, you don't see that in nature very often. Straight angles. Like, think about it. When was the last time you saw a right angle in nature, right? You don't. They don't exist. Yes, hyperfocus also means lack of attention after the hyperfocus has passed, right? You could be really into what you're doing, and then it gets left behind you, right? And unfortunately neglected. That's actually something you see with a lot of people, but with ADHD, they'll be super into it, right? So it'll seem so much more traumatic because an ADHD person will be so into, for me, like a hide or something. And I have a hide that I'm really into working, and I'm like psyched about it, and I work it, and it gets a little cold, and I lose my attention, or I have something happen where I get focused on other stuff for whatever reason, life or whatever. And then the hide rots. This thing that was super important to me the day that I talked about it, then rots, and as if it had no thought put to it whatsoever, and then you are disappointed. ADHD people also really struggle with finishing projects that they start. My mother was really hard on me about that, I think. And so if you're a member, Rob, you should watch my animated short. Heather, can you put the link for my animated short Unsinkable Mac in the chat, in that box down at the bottom? And if you're a member, you can watch it. It's a members only video, and I'm afraid to put it out for the general public because, first of all, that means I can never be entered into certain competitions. But it may be past that because it won awards. It's already played in certain theaters. I put it on the festival circuit, but it's really meaningful to me. And it was very difficult to finish. It took me several months. Each scene, if you imagine a 5-second animation scene, taking 2 to 3 weeks of work all day, 8 hours a day, right? So I had to fight so hard against my ADHD, man, and then still miss some stuff. I have another animated piece that I'm working on. That is actually, I already almost finished it. I finished it more than a year ago. 2 years ago, I was almost done with it. I haven't put it out yet. It's a historical, kind of a historical animated piece. I'm very proud of it. Some of it's done in ultra widescreen HD. So I have some really cool scenes in it. And so that one I'm psyched to show people, but I just don't know when I'll get to that. It's basically finished. It took me many, many months to finish. And so I told Heather the other day that I was regretting that I hadn't completely put it out. If you're doing woodworking, you're sure not doing a very good job. I'm a bit disappointed with this video. Well, guess what, John? You can do this. Fuck off. John didn't know this. I'm not actually doing woodworking, right? I'm doing leather work. Luke says, I have autism, Calvin. I'm 36 now, as my birthday was on December 26th, and I was born back in the year of 19. Wow, I can't believe you're so young, Luke. Oh, my goodness. But I do understand where you come from, Calvin. Yeah, I mean, there's a similarity between autism and ADHD. I mean, I'm kind of on the autism spectrum. A lot of people have always thought that about me. So I know my son, my eldest son basically has been diagnosed. You like that? Yeah, get that guy the hell out of here, man. I don't care about him. I'm really disappointed. Well, disappoint yourself somewhere else, prick. Go on and do your own thing. Here's the thing you can do with that stupid thumb of yours. Keep scrolling. And also make your own YouTube channel, You're so brave. You got all these things to say. You know who that sounded like, Heather? Eddie. It's probably a 5-year-old. What does he want me to do? Should I get some dovetails and do some dovetails, or put together a crosscut jig? Will that make John happy? Maybe John hasn't seen any of my other 4,500 videos where all I did was focus on little stuff with woodwork, or any of the beds that John has made, or any of the stuff that John has done to make people happy. Or John's imprint on this world is probably pretty minor, right? John imprints on the world by criticizing people who have an audience, right? I got people sitting in the room. So what does John do? John's jealous. This is the thing about people who have no power over you, right? People who have no power over you, they can't, the only way they can hurt you is by trying to knock you off your pedestal. This guy does nothing. He is a nobody, right? He doesn't do, his whole day is doing stuff like that, I assume, right? So he's a nobody. He sees somebody actually doing something and it upsets him. So he confuses jealousy with actual quality of work. He doesn't even know what I'm doing. So if this is woodworking, well, obviously you see woodwork and you see wood and chisel. So it's obviously woodworking, prick, Yes, so the world's smartest mathematician is autistic. And I saw there's a video with him in it. And they took him to Iceland and they gave him a challenge. They said, learn Icelandic in a week. And then he had to take an interview from an Icelandic journalist on the air, right? In Iceland, full Icelandic. He was English. He's an English guy. So he's from England, right? So he did this full interview in Icelandic. It was freaking amazing to watch this guy. He's just insane. And I'm sure if you Googled that, you find out. Yeah. What does he say? Oh, I'm older than you, Luke. I got you by like 6-7 years, right? You 36, Luke? You see, 1989. I'm 7 years older than you, Luke. I was born in 82. See right here, the world's smart. And then John's mom is disappointed in John, huh? Yeah, probably. John probably sticks needles in kittens and stuff for fun. Like John probably saves his own skin in a skin box. You know what I mean? John probably got caught sleeping and was farting and burping in his sleeping class, That's John right there. John's probably had a tough time of it. I should feel sorry for him, but instead I say fuck him. He had the gall to come in here, right? So that's the thing about it. I don't know how he got through. I don't get many trolls in here, y'all. I don't get that many trolls in here. But he popped through, and I when I see something like that, I always think it's funny. The only thing someone can do that doesn't have power over you or doesn't have skills, can't match you with their skills, can't match you with their wit. All they can try to do is knock you off, throw rocks at you. You're way up here. You're way up here, right? They're down here. All they can do is throw things at you. That's all they can do, and then hope that they knock you off, right? That's all they can do. Well, I try to stay in good shape, Luke. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do try to stay looking young. You know, I got this hot young thing that I'm dating now. I don't know if you heard of her. Her name is Heather, so I got to stay in good shape for that lady. If I started getting a little sloppy with myself, she might be like, nah, you know, I can't have that happen. We can't have that happen. Got this hot young thing. Hot young thing. All right, let's try this mold out since we're doing woodwork and we're not very good at it. I only got 350 to 400 woodworking videos. And I did know what the hell I was doing. I actually know less about what I'm doing with leather than what I'm doing with wood. Wood is easy. Wood is something like in my wheelhouse. Thank you, though, Luke. That makes my day. Do you think this is glued up now? How long ago did I put these clamps on? Usually, this glue tight bond usually needs about a half an hour, unless you're going to stress the joint. I should have put one up towards the top, though. I don't think I would call this stressing the joint. So we'll take these off. Let's move this over here. By the way, John is not in timeout. John is gone. I'm not going to John's not coming back to my channel. He's going to have to get into a different account and come back here to not like my channel. Like, because he's gone. My channel is hidden from him. If I block somebody, y'all, their ass ain't coming back. Probably fucking Steve, man. That sounded like a 5-year-old. Luke said, well, it's all good with me, Calvin, because I don't judge anybody, but at least you're honest with me about who you are and that you're a good person as well. Heather is very lucky to have you, Calvin. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a temper. I don't know if y'all notice, I am a redhead. I have been very nice for a very long time to get my YouTube channel up to this. I'm no longer going to do that with trolls. I'm going to speak to trolls in the way that they need to be spoken to. And people who come in here to leech off of my YouTube channel are going to get treated exactly the same way. Actually, I like John better. I like John better than the leeches, the other creators, because that might be one of them, y'all. People be, you know, like jealous and cynical and just, they spend their time doing stuff they don't need to do. All right, this is going to need quite a bit of work. It doesn't even fit at the moment. So I might actually take the jigsaw to this top section. But we may not do that today. Wow, that doesn't fit. That's not even either. So that's going to have to be either the positive or the negative will have to be adjusted to get these two. But let's check that leather that we just did a minute ago. We'll get that right. Not a problem. Where did I put that other form in the clamps? The 2 clamps in that form. Pilato did something with it. Haven't seen Pilato in here in a minute. Bing, bing. Where did I put it? I won't blame Pilato for this. He's going through stuff. Hey, if y'all see Pilato, man, his daughter's in the intensive care, in pediatric intensive care. I'm sure he doesn't mind me sharing this with y'all. She's had pneumonia and she's in really bad shape. We should definitely keep her in our thoughts and prayers. If you're a praying person, I am myself. I know everybody is not, and I don't presume to make anybody who I am, but I am a praying person, and I do like to pray, so I'm going to pray for her. I hope she does well. But yes, Pilato, he's trying to not be stressed, I think, but when your child is in a hospital and they're sick, it is just not very much fun, you know? Yep. Yes, sir. So let's check this out. I got it right here. Let's see whether it kind of worked. And then I'll wrap it up because I don't want to be in your face all day. In your face, right? If this is woodwork, this is very good. I don't think I like this video. Okay. That's why you got a thumb, man. So you can keep scrolling. It's just so personal, though. You know, people get so personal with it. I stacked. Hey, if anybody saw him before I deleted him, go to his channel. See how many woodworking videos he has. I can tell you right now, 0. This is what you're trying to do, essentially, y'all. See? Now it's a little shallow, but y'all can see. You see how that mold came into it? And if we had a full size here, then I can add materials into this, right? So I can put material into this like cork. It's not just the outline though, guys. It's actually imprinted in the leather. So we have and it will solidify like that. So the other thing I will do is I will add oil to this, right? And slick it down. And do it again, right? This stuff is like what they do with bear dubbing or bear fat when they're trying to when you're trying to stick leather down. I did this with my squirrel leather before I made it into a handle. To get all my leather flat, I use this technique. And I think it works really well to get leather to manipulate leather to the way that you want it. You add some thick room temperature, solid at room temperature fats. In this case, it's beeswax, coconut oil, and some other things, olive oil, some other oils in there. We're going to put that in there. I might even heat gun it, right? To moisten it, and then we put it back on the mold again. Slick it down even. Take some of this. Hey, Pelado. What's the update, man? I just told the folks about your daughter, and any updates on that? I think one of the things that made me stop teaching was that the principal, I went into his office. My son was very sick. I had one son that was having problems with school, going to school, getting ready. Then I had one son one day that was very sick. And the principal asked me why I left the school or whatever, was angry that I had to leave with little notice. And I told him that my son was sick, and knowing that he has children, the principal, I was kind of surprised at his response. He said, "I don't care." He said he didn't care about my children, you know. I don't care, honestly. I don't want to hear about what you and your wife and have going on. That's what the principal said to me, man. And I realized that I was in the wrong business. It wasn't just him. It was the whole wrong business. But how is your daughter, man? I mean, if there's no change, of course I understand. But if there's anything good, I hope there's some good news. I know she was with the respiratory therapist and all that before. We take our slicker, right? You can burnish these edges, y'all. Check this out. This is one thing, and I know a lot of y'all probably doubted me throughout this whole process and still do because I haven't finished this, but you take the burnisher and you run that along this edge, right? See? I want y'all to really see this because this is part of the fun part. The slicker, you can burnish these edges around the solid surface. So you take, and I think I use this gauge right here, and you go around, right? And around. This is called Craftsmanship, John. I don't know if you're in on a different account right now, but that's what this is called, buddy. Craftsmanship. Probably haven't seen a whole lot in his life. So, you know, just saying. Y'all see what's going on here? And as you do that more and more, you're going to end up with more and more of a tailored kind of a look. See, right? I could put it back on there. And these can be like Heather was talking about, just doing it this way. You could do it somewhat like that, but I think putting it in the mold just takes some of this out of your hands. You don't have to deal with slicking it down. Like I could use the tip end of the slicker and go around like this too. This is a great tool. This is a leather working tool. It's called a slicker. Believe it or not, it's actually called that. I don't know if any of y'all have worked with leather like this. Pilato said, I didn't see that one. Pilato, you know they've been deleting people's messages. Repost it. Yeah, I don't see it. This has been a problem on YouTube Lives for a few weeks, if not longer. I even tried to put a message in someone's chat the other day, and it happened to me. And I was angry because I had put a whole lot. It was like a lot of thought put into it. This deer hide I have now, I'm going to try to keep the grain on the leather so I can get some stiff belt type leather. That would be good for this type of application. But if it's too damaged, and it's really a mess. If I cannot rescue it from its kind of rottedness, it's going to be more of a I'm going to turn it into buckskin like the other ones. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, Pilato. I did see that your daughter's in pediatric intensive care. No updates since then. Just keep us posted, man. Hope she starts to turn for the better. All of my kids had pneumonia, man, and actually, my children's mother had it pretty bad too. They had pneumonia, and then my son recently had the flu, which was what caused their pneumonia last year, all three of them. And I've only had pneumonia once in my life. And it was pretty bad. So when I heard that, I freaked out because I felt like I wasn't really being told. And then like over Christmas time, my son, I had my eldest son, he felt so hot to me. I took his temperature. I've never seen this before, man. The thermometer, 104.5, 104.8, almost 105 degree fever. Scary, right? So I know this flu can be scary. I hope she comes, out the other side soon of this thing. We're gonna will it and manifest it and use that power of prayer that we have. All of us that believe. If you don't believe, don't do it. That's cynical. But if you do it. You can also think, meditate. That's another thing. I think that's kind of like similar, This also might help with putting the dye on. You might call this a dye. It's kind of like a dye, right? Like I said, drilled through with a wing nut on either side, like a tennis. Back in the day, you used to have the old tennis rackets. I think a wing nut on either side of this would probably be good. And you just keep working it, I think. This is just a test run on this one here. I wanted to know if I could do it and it would work and how it would look. So that's basically what you're trying to do with this. And then once I sew this to, some other materials, and I have some barge cement, and I have some cork, and I'm going to use cork as part of the this is like the mold that's going to hold the whole sole on it. This is going to be part of the outsole. There will be rubber on the bottom of this outsole. Then inside of this outsole there will be cork, and then another piece of buckskin to be soft under the foot. I used to have a pair of sandals that was really comfortable, that was kind of constructed like that. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to go for here. And as I told y'all, I'm going crab fishing this summer. I want to have a pair of my own flip-flops that I made myself out of my own leather that I tanned myself. So that's part of this process is, doing that. I want the satisfaction of doing things yourself, not shitting on others. Like some people get satisfaction out of that. I think they don't get a lot out of it though. I think they get minimal satisfaction, and then it kind of just goes away and they just feel sad again because they're worthless and they don't do anything for anyone but themselves. And they feel sad about the fact that they can't be there too. But, you know, that's the way it is. Hate us because they ain't us, y'all. You ain't doing much unless you got haters. All right, we're going to burnish this one more time because it's just fun to do that with the slicker. I used to use raccoon fat rendered down to waterproof and soft and leather. Absolutely. I had some raccoon fat that I've got 4 raccoons here, so I should have it. Most of it got slopped off and not thrown out, but like used as fire starter. I used it to start charcoal and stuff. Fat is a really good fire starter. Yeah, it's, if Pilato's still in the house, man, I'll check up with you too on email, man. I won't bother you on live streams about it. Hey, do I have 5,152 people in subscribers? Because once I have that, I'll stop bothering y'all. Is that leather work that you're doing? Because if it is, you're kicking ass. Yeah, thanks. It is. Thanks. Thanks, John. You're right, I am. I'm doing a great job. Thanks so much. It's this world that I always want to make you feel inferior, right? I always want to make you feel inferior, even when you're awesome at shit. Like when you're really good at stuff, that's when it's worse because people get really nasty and jealous. But the world is going to always try to do stuff like that, throw you curveballs and make you feel inferior. I've been lucky. I've been lucky here. You know, I have good mods and good support. But if you don't have those, it can be ugly, man. I've been in some live streams where it's just been nothing but that type of stuff thrown through the air. I hate those. I'm not that type of person. I'm a positive person. Though y'all know I can be mean. I don't have a problem being mean. And I don't have a problem being, firm with folks. But I don't like doing that. I like running around being positive with people. That's my baseline is like positivity. That's actually holding on like that. So I might actually just leave it like that kind of. Let me see. Happy people don't hate and haters ain't happy. That is true. 5,152. Great. 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 Luke is praying. He said, Heavenly Father, I ask you to please bless Pilato and his family, and that his daughter recovers from pneumonia and that she regains her strength ASAP. And this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Absolutely. It is very serious when a child is that ill. So we thank you, Luke, for your prayers. Mike, what I did was I actually sprayed it with a spray bottle to soften it. Not soaked this time. It had been soaked multiple times, but not right before. To be fair with your question, not right before this. We were spritzing it. You may have been out when I was doing that. Yeah, spritzing it with water. I have this. I keep a spray bottle with water. This is rainwater, by the way. I got a rainwater tank out here. And that gives me an opportunity to suggest to everybody that you check the local laws in your area and collect rainwater if you can. Rainwater is awesome. It's great. I use it to make my soaps here. It's a good way to not draw water out of your local system to like water your gardens. If you're looking at it in a practical way, it's a possibility that you're going to help keep the water bills low in your area. But also, plants love rainwater, y'all. Don't give them that fluorinated water from the tap if you don't have to. If they need it, if they need water them with whatever. But use rainwater if you can. I got 2 rainwater catchments. I got a barrel over there. If you watch my video on wood bending, you can see one of them. And then I've got another one over here with a little bit better filter on it. So I use a lot of rainwater outside. Interesting. Rainwater gets stains out of your clothes too. Mike Osborne said, I may just start putting the top of that workbench together today. You feeling up to it, Mike? I'm so happy to hear that, man. I love that you're out in the shop doing stuff, man. When you do, make a short about it so I can hype it or something. I got these hype points I haven't used yet. Luke said, in the name of and by the power of the Holy Spirit, may we invoke your intercession for the children of the world. God only knows all the side effects of listening to static on the radio. So let's make sure that we keep Pilato's family in our thoughts. Pilato, his daughter, really precious every moment you have in this world, and she's going to be, let's will it, she's going to be fine, right? That's what we want. That's what we're going to push for. And hey, Plywood, I didn't see you pop in, man. Sorry about that. LMAO, Plywood and I are bouncing through lives today. Yeah, Plywood, this is what I did today. I made that wet mold form. See me pop it off there, just to shape that. So you shape your leather, basically a leather container like that. Really nice wallets are made like this too. You should look, if you Google wet formed bark tan leather or wet formed veg tan, it'll show you wallets and purses and bags. If you watch Fallout, the backpack in that is wet formed. So the backpack is like veg tan leather that's been wet formed. Hey y'all, appreciate you being here today. Message is not going through. I don't like that. I do not like that. Pilato, go ahead. Try to give it another shot here. Try to give it another shot. Man, that's sharp. The thread down there is really sharp. It's like razor sharp. Yeah, I can see because he only got one word out right there. That's the way it acts, all wonky. Kill the app and then pull the app back up. Pilato, kill the app by running your thumb up and killing it off if you have an iPhone, and then come back. Trouble breathing. Yeah. She's intubated. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat. Daniel, thank you so much. Daniel has to roll out. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. He said goodbye, gentlemen. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Daniel from Israel there. Yeah, so she is currently intubated. If I can say this and if I'm not correct at the moment, correct me if you can, Pilato. Right now, I understand she has pneumonia. She has influenza B, and she is struggling to breathe. She has respiratory therapists with her. She is intubated and on a respirator and on a ventilator at the moment. Last time I heard, she was on those machines, and that she was fighting a little bit with the ventilator, which controls the number of breaths that you have. So if you're conscious, it's really hard for them to, it's really hard on your lungs. I don't know why. I don't want to question the doctors, but I just know that ventilators are super hard on the lungs. They can do damage. So I just want them to just, I hope that, yeah. So Heather's aunt gets pneumonia frequently. And, the first time I heard it, I was super, super freaked out about it. And she turned out okay. And then the second and third time, same thing. And she turned out okay. So, we hope that this just is just passes, and she's young, she's strong, and that she pulls through this thing, and that she has the right care in there too. So if I was to pray, I would say bless the hands of those doctors, and please make sure that they're providing that young lady with the care that she should get. She gets pneumonia fairly frequently, and they have to intubate her almost every time. And with children, these ones have been going through schools, so it's scary. this pneumonia here, this pneumonia and this influenza that leads to pneumonia thing, this is like a new thing to me. I didn't know this was happening, and to see young people get so sick. Let me give you some perspective without scaring you. I'd love to give you some perspective if I could. My grandmother was born in 1917. That's my grandmother. She's since passed away. Loved her to death. My grandma Seetin. She was born to a very healthy woman who had 6 other kids, 6 other daughters. She has 6 sisters. My grandmother was the last one born to her because she died the next day after my grandmother was born of Spanish influenza. She died of the influenza pandemic that was going around the United States in 1917. And that influenza, that batch of influenza, that version of the virus was so nasty because it preyed on healthy young people. When my sons had flu last year and pneumonia, I got really scared when I saw that because my fear was, here's another virus that's cooked itself up that preys on strong people. All 3 of my sons are fine, and so what I'm hoping is that we have a similar situation where it just looks maybe a little worse than it is, and hopefully they can, you know, she'll pull out very shortly. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah, my great grandmother was in very good physical shape. Like she was a very physically fit person, um, and she was very strong, intelligent, and capable, and absolutely at the peak of her. She was young and healthy, and the flu got into her body while she was pregnant, and your immune system is suppressed because your baby is like inside your body, so your immune system is not working at full volume. So the virus like was like, okay, now rubbing its hands together, now I can really get after this person because she can't fight me. It's weird how viruses sometimes seem intelligent like that. I don't know either, Pilato, but it's like sometimes just a glitch in your phone, or in communication in the handshake between YouTube and your phone. If you post something on your channel, I would love to repost it if that's possible. Yeah, well, in this case, Luke, though, my children a little younger than smoking age and getting involved with alcohol or drugs. And in the case of Pilato's daughter, I don't think that's the case either, though, Luke. Though I understand your concern about that as well, but I don't think we're talking about something induced by drugs or alcohol here. We're talking about something that was probably she picked up in school. My sons all got the flu. I think it was B also, and they got the flu, and then they got pneumonia. It was just like clockwork, uh, and it was not something that I was like, you all know this is not normal. It's been an issue for sure. All right, so I don't want to keep you all too long, and I love being here and feeding my ego with being on screen all the time. But I got 5,152. Hey, if you're in the room right now, do me a favor, folks. Subscribe to the channel so that we can become fast friends. I need 5,153. Just give me one more. Just one more. All right. Pilata says she is in stable condition. That is what we want to know. Luke said my first granddad was born on the 23rd of January in the year of 1916. He was a member of the Irish police. Anyway, he lives for 84 years before he passed. Yeah, that's not bad, man. 1916. That's your first granddad. You're a little young to have a grandfather born in 1916. In my case, my great great grandmother was born in the 1820s. If you can believe that. So, like, my grandmother was born in 1917. Her mom was like 40 or 50 when she had her, right? It's either one or the other way around. So my grandmother, her mom was healthy but was 30. Her mom was either 40 or 50 when she had her. So now we got 30 plus 40, that's 70. And her mother, we'll say that's the 40-year one. And then my great grandmother was 50 when she had my great grandmother. So 50 plus 40 plus 30, that's 90, 120 years there between those three generations. So like, yeah, my great grandmother was born in the 1820s on that side of my family. Like she's like Andrew Jackson's age. Oh, Shani, welcome. I'm glad you got in here. We missed you too. Hey, hit subscribe, y'all. Someone subscribe so I can stop bothering you. I promise I will. It's 5153. That's what I want to see. Hit me with that 5153rd subscription. And let's go. Let's get it. And double tap that screen too, y'all. Double tap that screen. If you're interested in having awesome clamps, that Jorgensen link's in the top corner. That's a pretty good deal. You get a 4-pack variety pack of clamps for $37.98. We are in. I am in a shopping affiliate now, so I do sell items and put items in the top corner of the screen, and I do receive a commission if those are sold. But we're not pushing anybody. We're still experimenting with it, and I only put items up there that I would stand by. Like my razor saw, I stand by it. Those clamps, I stand by them. If you see me talk about my saws, I stand by those as well. Yeah. Wow, look at that. It's a long time ago. BK said her mom was 1935. That's around my grandmother that's still alive's age. Well, nah, she was 31 because she's 94, right? 31 or 32. 1931, 1932. She was my youngest grandparent by a long shot. So all my other grandparents would be over 100. She was 10 years younger than my grandfather or more, and he passed away in like 2012. My other grandmother, who I told you, she would be 108 now. She was still alive. She died at the age of 93. It's kind of weird. It was like cancer that snuck up on her too. Yeah, it is interesting. And then my grandfather was the same, just slightly younger than my grandmother that he married on the other side. He's a D-Day. That's my grandfather was a D-Day veteran. Not that he necessarily wanted to be involved with that, but he was drafted, and so he was sent over there as a young guy in 1941 when my aunt was born. So my aunt I have an aunt that is born at 41, so she's 85 years old. That's a regular aunt, not a great aunt, you know. She was born when my grandfather was shipped off to England to do training for the invasion there on the Normandy beaches. Oh, I see Summer's on the couch snuggling over there. This is what she does. She tries not to bother me by running around my feet. Hey, subscribe to the channel. My name's Calvin. What's your name? See, I have red hair, all of that stuff. You like that? Subscribe. I need one more subscriber today to meet my goal. Yeah. It's interesting that it's called on garda, like that, almost like in Latin, on guard, right? ENGARDE, right? Wow, he became a police officer when he was 50. That's interesting. That's quite interesting. Very interesting. I think, hey, you know what I just found out, y'all, before I go? And do subscribe to the channel. Please do subscribe. I need one more subscriber today. What I found out was you all see those progressive commercials with the guy who's trying to get people to not act like their parents? He's really kind of quippy and funny. Not that I love commercials, and especially not that I love insurance companies, but he's on these commercials. The white-haired guy in these commercials got a mustache. Have y'all seen these commercials for progressive where he's like, he's schooling the young people because they're acting like old people. He's like, you're acting like your parents. Stop acting. Buckskin Cal. That's my name. So I just looked it up the other day. I did not expect this. The man is 81 years old. He looks really good for his age. He's crushing it. Really good for his age. Hey, y'all, do subscribe. I just need one more subscriber to meet my goal. Mike said something the other day. He said, you got to leave your live stream when the numbers are up. I'm not too worried about that. I do think there may be something to that. So if you leave your live stream with high numbers, you come back, it's high numbers. Maybe not. I got 80 likes though. That's pretty sweet. Do please subscribe. I need that one more subscriber, y'all. One more subscriber. Give me that one more subscribe. Tap that subscribe button. I see y'all in the gallery. There's 34 of you in there. That's enough. There's some new folks. Subscribe to the channel. I promise you, I won't bother you, but only a little bit, you know, just a little bit of bothering. Please, just hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that subscribe. But I'll leave it alone because I said 5150 was my goal, right? And I can't be greedy. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Pray for Pilato and the family. Glad to know that she is stable. Glad everybody seems to be on the mend. And I love to see you all in my next live stream, which will be tomorrow. I will be taking the weekend. I will not be live streaming on Saturday as I normally do. Oh, I got to do my little buckskin trick. Buckskin Cal. So we take this. If I took this out of here right now, and I'll do that real quick. It may be that something like this will fit in there easier, though. This feels thicker than that. Yeah, nah, that feels thicker than that. This is what it probably was going to be. It's got to fit through the whole thing. I don't know if y'all can see that at all either. Oh, nah, yeah, that's even thicker. That's buckskin, y'all. That's some good buckskin, too. I work that stuff a lot. Psyched to do that. That's going to be on these flip-flops, too. That's why I had to go get me another deer hide, because I need to make sure that I got enough hides to work stuff through the summer. Like I gotta have stuff that material to do leather work with over the summer. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Do pop through, check out my videos, my long forms, and all of that stuff. And have a great day. Wes, I see you in there. Hello to Wes. Appreciate everybody being here. Do the next right thing. Hopefully YouTube will get it back together here shortly, and we'll be able to say stuff to each other and not have problems. Everybody have